The following program contains material that is not suitable for children. Viewer discretion is advised.
Live from the Community Media Center Marin, it's marINSANITY.
What's up, everyone? We've never met before at all. How are you guys doing tonight? So many new faces. It's so great to be here. Welcome to marINSANITY. We've got amazing comedians who are, as we advertise, crazy funny. This is an amazing lineup in store for you. Very happy to bring them up. I'm your host for the evening. I'm Nicole Kalasic. I'll be like a little comedy Sherpa, just bringing people on and off, guiding them here for you and all of your interests. Let's check out this audience a little bit. We've got some like Hillary Chelsea thing going on in the back. Mother-daughter. It's cool. I'm with her. I feel like you've done some comedy in the past. In the very recent past, we might have run into each other. A venture capitalist here, that's great. Your singer, look at this natural poise and glamour. A lot of silver foxes in the audience. Is anybody dating still? Nobody? Everyone's given up?
Carbon dating.
You're currently dating?
Carbon dating.
You're carbon dating. How cute. I feel like if I tag onto that, you might just hit the grave, and I don't want to contribute. I'm not dating presently. I have a boyfriend. I've got a white boyfriend. I'm sorry, that's not cool to say, right? I got a white devil, and he's an all right guy, but I do hear a lot about dating from my friends because I mostly am friends with comedians. They're mostly men because that's how unfair the world is. And I've learned that I appreciate. I'm going to keep this dude on lock because what's out there, what's on the market is not very appealing because they'll say stuff to me like this. They'll say, oh, Nicole, dating's not fair. Dating's not equal. Are you kidding me? Guys have to spend all the money on dating. Guys are always buying the drinks on dating. Guys are buying dinner for the date. Guys are taking them to the comedy show, the free comedy show at the Marin Community Center. They spend all this money, and women don't have to spend any money. They don't even necessarily get anything out of it. How's that fair? How's that equal? And my response to that is always twofold. The first is, wow, maybe if you stop talking about equality that way, you'll have better luck with women, number one. And number two, I think that statement lacks imagination, the idea that women don't spend money on dating. How ridiculous is that? Every woman in here knows that she spent money on dating. I think what those guys are failing to account for is the pre-date investments, the pre-date dollars that go into this ritual on the women's side. Because for sure, on the date, we are letting you do the parts for show. We're letting you buy the dinner, buy the drinks, everything that makes you feel like a top dog dude. But what you're failing to account for is what women invest their money in. Women, you know what I'm talking about. You wax, you pluck, you polish, you tuck. You buy Sevens, you buy Spanx, facial tonics, colonics if he's special, and $50 on Plan B. So don't tell me women don't spend money on dating, okay? They broke the bank. You're trying to get credit for 3 PBRs. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of my face with all that. I live with my boyfriend because I like my men the way I like my rent, controlled. I only tolerate a 1.6% increase of bullshit per year. I keep the bullshit managed to keep it handled. Gotta squash it right away. The other day he came home and he pulled a fast one on me. He said, hey, babe, I gotta cancel our brunch plans. Oof, were you trying to start a war? Canceling brunch on a Bay Area chick? Get the fuck out of town. I gotta cancel our brunch plans. I gotta spend a couple hours working on my fantasy football team. Yes. I had similar reaction was produced by me. But I had to play it cool because you never show your true emotions in a relationship like that. That's how you show weakness. So I played it cool. I was like, yeah, that's okay, babe. Go ahead. Enjoy your fantasy football team. As long as you're also cool with fantasy blowjobs later. Does that work for you? Is that cool? 20 minutes later, we're brunching at the Four Seasons. You know why? Because blowjobs run the world. Don't believe me? Where's the applause break for that? You guys, there's some side hoes. You guys should investigate. Check Ashley Madison. Don't believe me? Next time you see a happy gay dude skipping down the street in furs, it's because he's known that secret the last 20 years of his life. He's living right, and we should all be taking notes. Guys, please go out and get more blowjobs. I really cannot articulate this enough. This guy in the back really... he's jonesing for it now. Hey, you guys, I've been Nicole, and are you ready for your next comedian coming to the stage? No? Cool. That works great. One more time, your next comedian coming to the stage. Let's get excited for him. Let's get Jazz. There you go. He's absolutely hilarious. He's appeared in the very first episode of marINSANITY, and we're thrilled to have him back. Please welcome back Bob Lieberman.
Thank you very much. Let's hear it again for Nicole Kalasic. No one asked me if I'm ready for you guys. Okay, are we ready for this audience? Okay. No, okay, so yeah, my name is Bob. It's a very ordinary name, and it makes me very envious of kids who are born today, because babies born today get really cool names for first names. In fact, I realized a lot of kids today get last names for first names. Think about it. A lot of boys born nowadays are named like Tyler. A lot of girls named Mackenzie. My neighbor just had a kid named her Lipschitz. Yeah, they call her Lippy for short, which beats the alternative. Shitsy, hey. Yeah, I could use a cool name because I am not a cool guy. I talk to myself a lot, and I'm passive aggressive, so when I get really mad at myself, I won't talk to myself for a week. Teach me a lesson. And I get very hung up on words. In fact, this morning, I got in a fight with my wife about this word she uses, incidences. She says, oh yeah, there have been a lot of incidences of that lately. I said, wait a minute, incidences, what is that? If something happens once, you have an incident, right? Something happens twice, you have a couple of incidents. So how many times does it have to happen before you pluralize the plural and make it incidences? She says, don't give me a hard time. That's the way I was taught by my parents. Yeah. And, with words, even with names, I go to Safeway, and when you check out, they make the cashiers follow this rule where they have to thank you by name because your name appears on the receipt. Now, my last name is pronounced Lieberman, and what I always get is, oh, thanks for shopping here, Mr. Lieberman. Now, I try not to make a big deal out of it. I'm pretty nonchalant, and I'll say, hey, it was my pleasure to shop here at Safeway. Seems to put them at ease, I think. Yeah. Speaking of words, there's not a word, but a phrase. Well, I guess it's a word that Oprah Winfrey popularized a few years ago to refer to a woman's genital area. Anyone remember what that was? No one. It was vajayjay. She goes, yeah, this is the vajayjay down here on women. And I thought that is very cool because it takes this cold, clinical Latin word, vagina, and it makes it sound fun and perky, Sounds like the captain of the cheerleading squad. Hi, I'm Vicki Jane Johnson, but everyone calls me vajayjay. And I thought, that's really cool. We should have the same thing for men. We need a male equivalent of vajayjay. Well, folks, I am proud to announce that I've created such a word. It's my gift to the world. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the panini. You're so welcome. You're so welcome. I like, sometimes for recreation, I will take walks through a cemetery that's near my house in Oakland. It's really beautiful. And it struck me that so many tombstones across the top have carved across the top RIP, which we all know stands for rest in peace. But I'm thinking, really, a tombstone is the last gift you're ever going to give this poor person in the ground. Is eternity really the time to resort to abbreviations? I mean, shouldn't we pony up the dough and spell the whole thing out? What are we texting here? R.I.P. LOL. ROMGL, rolling over in my grave laughing. No. Well, I really want to salute you folks for coming out here to see live comedy because you've got entertainment choices. You could have stayed home and watched reality TV. I watch some reality shows, and one thing I've noticed they all have in common, they spend half the show recapping what you've already seen, right? Like just before the commercial last week, when they're not doing that, they're doing teasers to get you to stick around past the commercial or next week. Last week on Survivor, we showed you clips of what you're going to see tonight. And tonight on Survivor, you won't believe the amazing teasers of the shocking recaps of the teasers you never expected. And of course, if if you didn't stay home, you could go to the movies. Now, I like the movies, but I hate the previews before the movies because they're really loud and they all use the same stupid sound effect to try and make the movie seem exciting no matter what the movie is. Doesn't matter what it is. It always sounds like a missile coming at your head. It could be for any movie. You know, in a time when the evil empire seeks to dominate all, one man dressed in white will lead the rebels to victory. Gandhi. Hey, have you guys seen these commercials for prescription drugs on TV? They're always really long, right? Well, they're long because by law, they have to have an unseen announcer telling you all the dangerous side effects of the drugs, right? May cause heart attack, may cause seizures, may cause suicidal thoughts. Meantime, on screen, people are having the time of their lives. They're running down the beach, they're having picnics. Now, why is it always like that? I say they should switch it up. They should have the announcer telling you all the wonderful benefits of the drug, and on screen show people having dangerous side effects. Show people having heart attacks, show people having seizures, show people hanging themselves. Let's live it up, folks. Come on. Come on. I do want to mention that last month, I'm very proud to say that my wife and I celebrated our 22nd wedding anniversary. Thank you. Thanks a lot. It's always nice to get applause for inertia. So I appreciate that. And it's a terrific relationship. You know, I mentioned getting in a fight with my wife before about incidences. And after the incidences incident, she said, you know, you're being really condescending. Now, one of the secrets to a good relationship is to own it when you make a mistake. So when she told me, she pointed out that I was being condescending, I just came out and owned it. And I said, oh, I am being condescending. Oh, that's so terrible, isn't it? I'm so sorry. Now, we don't have kids, and that was a conscious choice on our part, but don't get me wrong, because I love kids, and I get it, because we visit our friends who have kids, and I see that you really get to appreciate just how precious life is without kids. Now, I used to read to my niece and nephew when they were really young, and the books that didn't even have stories, they just had pictures, and they would say things like, the cow goes moo, the duck goes quack. And I would think, don't we have something a little more important to teach our kids besides the sounds that barnyard animals make? How about something more relevant like, the safety on the handgun goes click? Oh, that's a great way to end it. I'm Bob Lieberman, everybody. My time is up. Thank you very much.
Keep looking better and better. Yes, when that weird throaty cough helped. Thank you. Too overwhelmed with attraction. You guys, your next comedian's totally hilarious. Are you ready for him? Yeah. Ready? So ready? Born ready? You, floral shirt, are you ready? You ready to go? Yes. All right, your next comedian coming to the stage when he's not performing around the Bay Area, he's a fitness trainer. So put your biceps, triceps, deltoids to work and clap hard for Anthony Durante.
How you guys doing tonight? Yeah, great. If anybody ever asks you that and you're not doing good, you know, what do you say when somebody asks you how you're doing? You don't know, you know? Sometimes, you know, when somebody says, you say, how you doing? And they go, fine. And you know they're not fine, right? You're not fine at all. Just go, fine, because people don't want to hear the truth. But you can be really lousy. You can feel lousy, and someone says, how are you? You don't want to tell them, but you don't want to lie. You can say, I'm fine. Fine can stand for effed up, insecure, neurotic, and empty. And anybody here from Ross? Any Ross people? Any Ross holes? We call them Ross holes in Marin, right? Any Ross holes, right? I mean, I know there's no Ross holes in here because people from Ross they don't go to Santa Fe ever. They never come to Santa Fe. Why would they come here, right? Because when they say they're fine, they say effed up, insecure, neurotic, and entitled. Okay, right? All right. So anyway, my name is Anthony, but you can call me Kate. That's my, okay, you got that one, right? That's my pen. It's not that I need the notes. I'm taking notes on you. Okay? So you better be good, right? All right. So, yeah, my name is Kate. Yeah. Have you ever seen the I Am Kate show? Have you ever seen that on the E! Channel? This doesn't look like an E! Channel group. You watch what, PBS? Is that what your PBS? Your PBS is Downton Abbey, right? You're Downton Abbey people. I can tell her. No, even worse, you're Raffel Theater people. Raffel Theater people. Even worse. And let me tell you why. Like, why would anybody go see a movie there? Like, what did they have there now? Anthony Weiner Story? If I wanted to see somebody ugly and annoying, I would listen to Trump. But he's not on the E! channel. You know? All right, so let's see. So anybody, what's your favorite comedian? Who's your favorite comedian?
Carlin.
George Carlin? Okay, he's great. Yeah. George Carlin? Is that a different Carlin? You just said it twice. I don't know. Is that really? Okay. George Carlin. Well, did someone say Cosby? I hope not. No. My favorite is Bill O'Reilly, and my favorite show is Fox News for comedy with the sound off. In my family house, it's the favorite too, but my father doesn't think it's funny because he's sort of a dyed-in-the-wool 24/7 Fox News Republican. And when I asked him about any of those here, anybody here like that? Yeah? No? Okay. You won't say, right? After I said that, right? You won't say. Well, I asked him about what he thought about Caitlyn Jenner, you know, and he's from another country. He's from Italy, and he goes, oh my God, something happened to him. He said, he must have gotten into an accident or something because he doesn't understand. And I go, Dad, he didn't get an accident. Well, he did get into a car accident. And he goes, goddamn women drivers. So you get it? It's irony. He's a misogynist, but he's accepting of him as a woman. So you can't have everything. You know? So I think it's funny in this environment. Usually comedy needs alcohol. You know, I mentioned that before when I was sitting there. It needs alcohol because, you know, the audience needs to be a little more lubricated, you know, a little bit. You know, I mean that in a non-sexual way, not like the rest of the way the comedians say lubrication, right? You need alcohol just to kind of, you know, ease it up a little bit. And, you know, in a way, this could be a good AA event because there's no alcohol, right? And I know a lot of AA people, but as I look at this crowd, it's mostly kind of more like an AARP event. Oh, I lost the crowd. Kind of funny, right? Oh, courtesy laugh. Thank you. I appreciate that. Really. You know, speaking of AA, you know, they have all those different kind of, you know, NACA, SAA. Anybody know SAA? You know what that is? Oh, you're lying. No, it's Sex Addicts Anonymous. You know, and I had a friend who said he wanted me to go with him because he wanted support. So he'd go, okay, I'll just go. And plus, I may find a date. So I went to this meeting, and they go around the room if you've never been to an AA meeting, and they kind of either say their name or something. They go, hi, my name is Brian, and I'm a sex addict. And they go, hi, Brian. Okay. Or they say, hi, my name is Steve, and I'm a sex addict. And it came to me, and I go, all right, I'll just play along. I said, oh, hi, my name is Anthony, and I'm a sex addict. Hi, Anthony. And then this other guy came in, he goes, hi, my name is Richard. I'm a visitor. And I go, no, wait a minute. I want to change my answer. I didn't know I could say that. So, you know, even though, you know, I lift weights a lot, but a lot of guys that are really strong lift weights, they're basically wimps. You know, they never knew how to change themselves on the inside, so they just work on the outside pretty much. You know, and I went to Las Vegas, and there are a lot of wimps there. There are a lot of people in Vegas, you know. And when I was in Vegas, I noticed there were only three kinds of billboards. They were either personal injury. It was either meth house cleanup. I'm not kidding. The billboards advertised for meth house cleanup, personal injury, and my favorite was, you know, enough said, call Ed, edbronstein.com. He'll help you. Every sign practically on the freeway was that way. And the last one was emergency room waiting times. There were like little counters that said, this emergency room, you'd have to wait 6 minutes. No, go to this one because this one is 4. And the time would change every so often. So I thought it was funny. You know, your meth house just got busted. You get an injury in the car running away from it. And you have to figure out what emergency room to go to. You know? Let's see. So how many Warriors fans here? Not too big. You're not watching them tonight. You're here, right? Right? Is that it? No? Right? You're recording it? Okay, good. Another thing about being a wimp is I noticed that sometimes you have to put on kind of a front. And some guy I see at the gym all the time said to me, he said, you know, you look good today. I said, today. And I'm thinking, well, you've seen me the last 3 days. What about yesterday and 2 days ago? What did I look like then? You know, I was so upset, whatever. So I went to him and I said, well, thank you. I said, thank you. And I went to the gym right away, immediately afterwards, had to work out. So let's see. I'm keeping notes on you. I'm just keeping notes, just looking at this a little bit. All right. I blanked a little. Okay. So let's see. So I pitched a show for Bravo, and it was called The Incredibly Cranky and Underfed Women of Southern Marin County. The first woman was Karen, who's 70. She looks 50 and only dates men under 30. Okay, you know this person, don't you, right? Yvonne, you do, really? Oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. There's Yvonne, who has in her driveway, she has a Prius and a Hummer. She has a fur coat and she belongs to Greenpeace. And her biggest fear is that her friends will meet. And then there's Diane, who has 27 different Lululemon outfits. Do you know what Lululemon is? It's an athletic company, clothing. Lululemon outfit. She has 40 double D breasts that she paid for and pipe cleaner arms. And when she talks about her investments, she's talking about her husband who's 20 years older. All right, well, I think that's enough for me tonight. Thank you very much. My name is Anthony.
Let's hear it again for Anthony Durante. I like overly enunciate his name. All right, your next comedian, your headliner for the evening is about to come out. Come on, let's get this started. This next comedian coming to the stage has been on drugs all day. So, let's see how this goes. Give it up, everyone, for Jesse Hutt.
Hey, everyone. Nice to see you again. You're looking well. Cole was right. Did some drugs. Went pretty well. Although I did find myself getting angry at a picture of a planet. So, didn't go that well. I like to do this thing when I'm feeling kind of depressed or stressed out, where I'll look at like telescope pictures of all the planets in our galaxy and of like the various astral bodies in the universe. And I usually find it soothing. It kind of reminds me of my place in all of this, and that the universe is vast and infinite, and that it's really a miracle that I exist at all in all of this. And my problems are, infinitesimal compared to the scale of the galaxy. And it usually makes me feel much better. And it was going okay. This time I was looking at some Hubble Space Telescope pictures. I saw a spiral galaxy. I was like, that is tight. I didn't know they made spiral ones. I thought they were all just round. But hey, I'm learning stuff. This is fantastic. I saw a picture of the planet Jupiter. And I was like, dope, that's a huge planet. Oh, it's mostly made of gas? That's hilarious. It's like a big space fart. I love that. It's surrounded by a bunch of moons. Got a bunch of little friends. Hey, neat. Takes care of its people. Then I got to a picture of the planet Saturn. And I was just like, I don't think so. No, thank you. Too many rings. What's with all the jewelry, Saturn? A gaudy, show-off planet. Probably disrespectful to women. And then I realized that I was just projecting all of my feelings towards every dude I've ever met who wears a lot of rings onto the planet Saturn. It's just getting more and more specific. I'm like, look at this gross Ukrainian planet. Probably wears a deep V-neck T-shirt when it's not seasonally appropriate, and just flip-flops and jeans in the winter. Probably just cat calls comets as they go by, just like, hey, comet, nice tail. What? It was a compliment. Come on, comet, you should smile more. Whoa. Saturn. No, thank you. Too many rings. Don't like it. Did you know if you look at Saturn under close enough magnification, in addition to the rings, it's also orbited by a series of leather bracelets? It's true. Atmosphere is made up of 85% cologne. Surface is comprised mostly of hair gel. It's a gross planet. Least favorite planet. You know what my favorite planet is? Guess what? We're in luck. You're standing on it. Earth, baby. #1 planet in the solar system as far as I'm concerned. Listen, I was born here on Earth, raised on Earth, went to school on Earth. If I have my way, I will die and be buried right here on Earth. It's true. If I ever accidentally have a child, I will proudly raise that child every other weekend right here on Earth. Grow up to be a proud Earth dweller, just like their daddy. Their daddy's daddy. I grew up in the Midwest, and now I understand how all my Midwestern relatives feel about America, because that's exactly how I feel about Earth. Just a proud Earth patriot right here. I'm this close to getting political with it, just getting like a T-shirt with a picture of Earth that just says Earth, love it or leave it. Catch me at a gas station in a few months just having a loud conversation with other proud Earth patriots. I'll be like, well, yeah, if you want to come to Earth, you're more than welcome, but you damn well better learn to speak one of the many languages. You just go right back where you come from, Mercury man. You love Mercury so much. Got a Mercury bumper sticker on your car. Oh, it's a Mercury automobile. I'm sorry, I didn't. It's a Ford Motor Company. It's a fine outfit. Okay, it's one of their many. I guess I'm just kind of dumb, is what I'm saying. Like I would like to be smart. I tried everything to be smart, but I'm still just a giant idiot. Like I thought that maybe like I went to school and I got a good education, I'd be smart after that. Something just didn't take. Like I went to like a reputable university and got a very good like balanced education. Like I double majored in sociology and economics, and I think that was it was a good way to go because like in my economics or in my sociology classes, I would learn all about how throughout human history, like white men have sort of hoarded wealth and disenfranchised native populations and exploited natural resources to an unsustainable degree. And then in my economics classes, I got to learn all about how to like hoard wealth and how to like disenfranchise. So I just do this instead. Thought it would make me smart, but it didn't work. Like I did well. I graduated with honors in both departments, and I still just get real excited if I see like a pigeon at a bus stop. Like, what are you doing down there, buddy? You waiting for the bus too? Why? You can fly. You little rascal. You gonna hop up the steps when it gets here? That's exciting. I don't know. I just kind of wish I was smarter. I wish I was a better person in general. I'm trying to be a better human being. I started cutting back on my drinking a little bit. Realized that I was regularly getting like Friday night drunk on like Tuesday afternoons. That's no way to live your life. None of my drinking behavior was that bad though. Like I never had like a terrible incident. The worst I would do is I would occasionally get like not blackout drunk, but like gray out drunk, or like I would call it like polka dot blackout drunk because you remember parts of it, but then other parts you're like, I remember being at Jack in the Box, but I do not remember going to Jack in the Box. Like occasionally do that move where you like call an ex, you know. And even that was never that bad. Like the last time it happened, it's probably been over a year now. I went on like a couple days, a 2-3 day bender, was trying to figure out some feelings and stuff, just like working through them the best way that I knew how. And woke up one morning, my phone's ringing. I wake up out of a whiskey haze. It's my ex on the other line. It's like 7 o'clock in the morning. She goes, do you remember calling me last night? And I was like, oh no, what did I say? She goes, well, you left a really long message. I'm like, oh, that is a bad sign. Was it like graphic and sexual in nature, or did I do the thing where I'm like, we should think about getting back together? Psych, the J train already left the station. Choo choo. And I make a loud train noise for some reason. She goes, no, you just retold the story of the time we were walking down the street together and you saw a dog sitting in the driver's seat of a car and you walked up to the dog and said, license and registration, please, sir. And then you just laughed for the rest of the message. It was just 90 seconds of solid cackling laughter. And I could tell you were in a public bathroom by yourself because I could hear your laughter echoing off the tile. It was like there were 3 of you laughing about the time you saw a fun dog. And I was like, yeah, you know me pretty well. We had some good times, didn't we? Well, hey, guys, we had some good times, too, tonight. Thank you all so much for listening. I'm Jesse Head. Good night.
Bob Lieberman, Anthony Durante, Jesse Head. I'm Nicole Kalasich. You guys are amazing. Have a beautiful evening. Take it easy. Bye.